Manfred von Karma did nothing wrong. If you look at him in the original Ace Attorney game, he seems like a complete villain, and they kind of overwrite him that way in a way. He was actually meant as the final antagonist too, because in the DS re-release, then they introduced Gant and Rise from the Ashes, but originally he was actually the final boss of the whole game. But if you think about his impact in the story, he trains Edgeworth, right, and you might say he's doing that somehow to get back at Gregory, but in a way, he genuinely trains him and treats him actually respectfully. If you look in the Ace Attorney investigation games, give you a part 1 and 2, give you a great insight into him. He's actually not too mean to Edgeworth. He's actually respectful. He respects his intelligence. He's actually teaching him in a meaningful way. And so the point is that he really does take him under as a pupil. And he's actually a very fair-minded individual. Like, he's trying to actually catch criminals and punish them. That's actually his motivation. His motivation isn't bad. You could say the power maybe gets to his head, but part of it is just he swims in the same waters as everyone else. So when you have a corrupt police chief like Gant, at least for a point in time, when you have Blaise DeBest, who is a corrupt chairman of the PIC eventually, but also chief prosecutor, right? He swims in the same waters as everyone else. This is a line from Chinatown, like the corruption around him. So it's not really that he's the bad guy. If the police get the right culprit and they don't have clowns like Gumshoe going around, right, getting the wrong suspect every single time, then he wouldn't need to forge evidence or do something above and beyond. So the majority of his cases, he probably actually does the right thing. He doesn't need to forge evidence because he's just so smart and capable, which he's very, very good as a lawyer, honestly, if you look at it. But also beyond that, he might win even without needing to forge evidence because he's just better than the opponent, even if they're not really guilty. And also, what is he supposed to do? Just say, oh, the police suck at their job, so I'm just going to put my hands up and just say, oh, I'm going to help the defense like Edgeworth does or whatever. No, like, he's doing his job to the best of his ability, right? And it's the police's fault for sucking at their job, and it's the fault of Blaise and corrupt people like this around him that he just has to deal with or, toe the line. So should he forge evidence and do all that when he suspects, even though you can't know for sure? I mean, again, you never know. But when the suspect actually isn't guilty, the defendant. But again, it really comes down to the unfairness of the police just doing a bad job.